What is the impact of biases in technologies? Who has ever heard about Google Photo in 2015? So they labeled as gorillas some people just for the no color of their skin because of the algorithm that recognizes images in photos. Another bias in the algorithm was a Google Vision Cloud that when people of black color skin handle a thermometer, it recognizes it as gun instead of white people, for example. Let's talk about unconscious biases. So who has ever heard about unconscious biases? 1, 2, 3, 4, more or less. Okay, so it's a new topic for you. That's cool. So before starting, I would like to tell you a story. Everybody loves stories, right? So I would like that you imagine to be in the savannah thousands of years ago, and that you want to live one day without any kind of bias. So you are in the clearing, and at the bottom you can see a creature, but you decide not to run away as you do normally, and you decide to stay there and say, okay, let's understand which kind of creature we have in front of us. So this you see that this creature has 4 legs, a tail, but it's not enough, so you don't run away. So this creature comes little by little closer to you, and you see that this creature has tusks, then has claws, and then, when it's too late, this creature eats you. So this is the results of a day without biases. Biases are really, really useful for us because they help us to take right decision super quick and categorize information. Why this? Because we receive 11 millions of information every moment, but we are able to consciously process them only for 40 bits. What does it mean? That 99% of everything that happens in our brain is unconscious. So there are some truths about biases and stereotypes. Some of them are true, many aren't, but all are incomplete. So let's give some example. Of course, you know that there are some stereotypes about Italians. So Italians that come from the south normally are more welcoming, friendly, warm, and Italians that come from the north are like more business-oriented, not so much friendly, no? Do you have any other kind of bias or stereotype that you have in mind that you would like to share? Other stereotypes? Okay, for example. So maybe also Latin American women are really emotional, or the translation in English doesn't sound so good, but like women behind the wheel is a constant danger, no? So, or Asiatic people are really good in math, or black women talk really loudly. So these are all stereotypes. But we need to understand that they influence us, they influence how we perceive the other person and how we react to their, to what they see and what they say and what they do. So let's take a deep dive and do some exercise. So now there should be a video. Let's see if it works. So listen carefully, and then we will comment together.
Hi, my name is Mary Jo Kennedy. Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Andrew Kumar. It's nice to meet you.
There is a little bit of delay.
I'm Sandra. Nice to meet you.
Hey, I'm Simon. Nice to meet you.
Hello, my name is Dustin Holt, and it's nice to meet you.
Okay, you need to connect voices and images. Now it should be a little bit harder, but maybe we will go.
Hi,
quicker.
my name is Mary Jo Kennedy. Nice.
Okay. I don't know how much you have understood about this presentation, but we have 5 persons that have presented themselves in just some words. So I think I will. Do you have connected voices and person or not? I see some yes. Okay, let's try. Let's try. Okay, we have 5 persons that have presented themselves. So if we have to say something about Mary Jo, like some information about her or which kind of job does she do, which could be, if you need to imagine. Teacher, okay, because she's really elegant, okay. Then Andrew. Like, he could be like a developer? Yeah, okay. Sonja, what about Sonja? Fitness coach, yeah, because of her outfit. And then she's really direct, no? She even say, hi, she just say, I'm Sonja, nice to meet you. So, and what about Simon? What could be his job? What? Photographer? For a photographer, okay. Or maybe it could be also a student, okay. And what about Dustin? Bodybuilder, okay. I thought he worked in finance, but it could be also. Okay, so now this example was a little bit harder because of the video, but we have already said something about them just because of their presentation, and they say just a few words. So this is because it takes 7 seconds to have the first impression of a person. So imagine the impact that could have this kind of thing when you meet a new person. And now we will do a little bit of gym to stay active, right? So everybody is able to raise hands, right? Can you raise your left hand? Everybody is able, cool. Right? Okay, so how this exercise work? We have 2 categories, female and male. So you need to raise your hands when we will see a noun under these 2 categories. And you have to raise your hand if this noun is correlated to male or female. Let's do an example, like husband, which, no, everybody needs to raise hands. Cool, okay. You were not so convinced. Okay, we need to do this test because then at the end I will explain the results, and we will do it for 4 times. So I will go really fast, and so you need to be really quick to do the decision. You don't need to think. So, aunt, girl, grandfather, guy, daughter, son, mom, grandmother, wife, brother. Okay, it was easy, right? Cool. Now we change categories. So art and science. So engineering, music, biology, chemical, literature, geology, English, physics, human sciences, math, sculpture. Was it harder, this one? No. Okay. But now we match things. So female or art and male or science. Ready? Music, mom, father, philosophy, history, wife, engineering, brother, chemistry, physics, human sciences. Here I saw a little bit of, it was a little bit harder, right? Okay, but now we complicate things more. So male or art and female or science. Okay? Ready? Let's do. Father, engineering, music, daughter, aunt, math, girl, literature, Anko, physics. Okay. So which was the hardest? The last one? The last one. Okay. So, okay, what have we done? We have done the implicit association test. And this is the link. You can do it. I have done several times. And even if I deal with diversity, inclusion, and accessibility, I am really biased. And you need to take a quick choice between this kind of categories. So which was the result of this implicit association test, of course, for Europe? The 76% of people has a gender bias, so easy match men to career and women to family. The 70% easy match male to science and women to art. 75% of people has a race bias, so has an implicit preference for white people. And the 76% has implicit preference for people without disabilities. Therefore, why is so important to recognize biases? Because, first of all, if we aren't able to recognize them, we cannot manage them. The second reason is that companies that are able to balance diversity can have better performances and brilliant results. And of course, they can create a better place where people can work, because it allows team members to unleash their creativity and also feel more the sense of belonging of the team, because their feelings and their opinion about several topics are taken in consideration. And this fosters also a faster problem solving, because it creates a better strengthened sense of belonging, but you can also see the problem under different point of view. And in this way, you can solve it faster and in a more appropriate way. So, you are biased, me too, and this is really important to recognize. At the end, what is a bias? A bias is the tendency to create their own personal subjective reality based only by the personal background without considering really the data. So personal background, the society, belief, everything condition our perception of things. I would like to show you the five most important. There are so many kind of biases, but I would like to share with you the five most important one. The first one is the biased hate-love. If you can imagine when you are like at the stadium, you go and you think, okay, this is my favorite football team, and of course they will win, but the other team, of course, thinks the same of their favorite football team. So, which is the risk that we overestimate the reality and lose the perception of things. So maybe we can ignore the effect of our friends and maybe amplify the ones of our enemies, we can say. The second one is the contrast bias. If you have ever bought a home and you have used an estate agent, maybe you have some of them have showed you before the house that has ugly. It is not so nice, so it's ugly, but it's really it's not so cheap and it's really expensive. And the second one, they normally shows you a house that it's cheaper, but not exactly it did not exactly match your needs. But in this second option, they have more profit. So you need to take care and be careful, because we have to be conscious of these kind of strategies. The third one is the authority bias. I'm here, I'm a speaker, and I'm supposed to tell you the truth and to tell you everything about the topic I'm talking about. But this is not necessary the right thing, because I am human. I can also fail, and I can also tell you something that it's not exactly the truth, because I'm not a psychologist. So I share you my experience and what I have studied during years. So be careful that if a person covers like an authority position, doesn't direct means that this person has right. Then the social expectation bias. Maybe we want to start a new YouTube channel, and we want to do content creation, but we aren't sure. And so we say, we expect that maybe the society or friends around us want ask us, yeah, okay, you can do it. We want to hear more about you. So be careful and pay attention that normally we have to do what we really feel that's good for us and not expect others. And the fifth is the loss bias, the one most used in marketing. So last 5 days to get this sofa, amazing sofa. Or this is last chance to get it at 99 euros, or these kind of things. So these are the 5 most important biases. Who has ever heard about Dunning-Kruger effect? Okay, who wants to explain in a few words? What does it mean? Do you want to tell? To explain? Yes. 2 words, just to know what it is.
After reading? Or
No, explain with your words. What is the Dunning-Kruger effect?
I don't know. I didn't hear about it.
Okay. You can? Vai.
Yeah. I don't think this definition is correct, actually.
Okay.
That's what you find everywhere. It's not exactly
Okay.
this. So the point is, when you evaluate yourself against the others, you think you are more on the average if you perform poor.
Okay.
While the people that perform very well, they think that the others are performing better than they are.
Okay.
So usually on social media, you find this used like, the less you know, the more you think you know.
Yeah,
it's not exactly that.
Okay.
That's what I'm like.
I accept. As I said, I share what I know, and it's not.
No, but I mean, I think the principle is still the same, but usually it's like something that is thought as subjective, but in theory, the effect is you versus the others.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. From what I knew was more. Sure. From what I knew was exactly what you said before. Like, the less I know, the more I think to know, and then it's exactly the contrary of the more I know, the less in reality I know. Sure.
Because the explanation should be, if you're very good at something, it's quite natural for you. So you think it's natural. Okay. So if you're extremely good at something, you're an amazing programmer, for example. So something comes very natural for you. So you assume that it comes natural also for the others.
Okay.
So you're thinking that you're average, more or less, because it's natural. While if something is like you don't know much, you think that, come on, even the others don't know much like me. It's like, that's what I know.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for sharing. And who knows how was the Dunning-Kruger effect was like researched or found? The history that there is behind this. Nobody? Would you like to know? Yes? Okay. So there was this guy called MacArthur Wheeler in the US, and he went to his friend, and his friend told him that if you write with lemon juice on a piece of paper, you can read only, everything is disappear, and you can read it only if you put it close to a heart source. So what does he thought? Okay, I can use the lemon juice to put on my body, and then I can go to rob a bank. And he did it. So the strange thing for him was that at the end, the policeman, of course, found him in a super quick moment. And he told, but I used the lemon juice, so he really thought that he was invisible. So after this situation, David Dunning and Justin Kruger started to study this kind of effect. And yes, exactly, was the exactly opposite, but what I knew, but now we know more. Could be. So that is exactly opposite of that. The more I know, the less I think to know. So we will go a little bit faster. Also, little bit bias can have big consequences, and I will give you some examples. There is an organization that has 8 different levels of management. So from level 1, that is like the lowest one, and the level 8, it's the highest one. At the very beginning, they start with 50-50 presence for male and women. They decided to these all the person that are in this organization to assign a randomly score based on performance, but with a variation of 1% in favor of male. So what happened? They run this kind of the score 1,000 of times, and it happens that only 35% of employees were women at level number 8. So with 1 calculated percent of bias in favor of men. So imagine the impact that biases can have when you are a human, so you cannot calculate biases. Another example was when the YouTube app was launched for iOS devices, and the results was the YouTube wasn't able to turn for left-handed person. This is why, not because YouTube was a bad company, but just because in the team there weren't left-handed people. So little changes can make a big difference. How to overcome them? Let's commit to action. I will give you some ideas to overcome unconscious biases. So first one, be conscious. So what determines success? Another studies that has been done in 2004 called exactly, would you assume Emily or Lakeisha? They analyzed some CVs for candidates in the marketing field. So some of them had an European American sound, and others had a sound of their name sounds Afro-American, like Brandon, Greg, Emily, and others like Tamika, Akisha, and Tyrone, for example. So what they noticed that to have a callback for the person that had a sound of their name Afro-American, they need 50% of CV more, just because the sound of their name with the same exactly skills. So imagine the impact that, for example, just the sound of your name can have when you apply for a new job position. So be careful and be sure to have structured interview and ask only information that really are meaningful for you and your team. The gender, the provenience, where the people come from is really impactful for your team, or would you like to evaluate person from their skills? What is the impact of biases in technologies? Who has ever heard about Google Photo in 2015? Yes, some of you, yes. So they labeled as gorillas some people just for the color of their skin, because of the algorithm that recognizes images in photos. Another bias in the algorithm was a Google Vision from Google Vision Cloud, that when people of black color skin handle a thermometer, it recognizes it as gun instead of white people, for example. Then another algorithm from Amazon in 2017 that they created to automate staff hiring, choose the right person for each job position. So the only problem was that the data set was made of the 10 years before, and the staff was mainly male. So therefore, given the same skills, those who were not male, they was declared by default. So fortunately, after 1 year, they decided to not use this algorithm anymore. Another example was the COMPAS, and another bias algorithm. COMPAS is a predictive algorithm from the US that measure the risk of repeating an offense. And they discovered that doing the same infraction from people from white skin and black skin, the people from black skin were had the 80% possibilities more to commit again this infraction in front of a person of white skin. So it's based on exactly the same kind of infraction. So imagine the impact that this can have on society. Another tip that I can give you is make data-driven choices. You cannot improve what you cannot measure. A teacher analyzed the Google Doodle. Do you know what are Google Doodle? Yes. So in 2013, the 23% of the Google Doodle were represented by women, so 77% by men. And this teacher told it to Google, and then at the end, in 2014, they changed and balanced this kind of information. But the strange thing was that half of the team was female. So even if there was enough diversity, these kind of things can happen. And what research shows that companies with diverse and heterogeneous teams are 4 times more likely to design inclusive products, and this allows them to innovate and differentiate, increase revenues, and improve customer satisfaction. Another thing to think about is our subliminal messages. It is not only what we say, but how we say this kind of information. If I say you, hi, I'm really happy to be here, but I have this kind of posture, I don't transmit exactly the same message, right? So recognize the power of signal. Another study that they do was to take a class of students and divide them into the groups. They were not students like developers or no technician. So they had to do a test about tech stuff. One room was full of like nerd things, like computer games, pizzas, and these kind of things. The other one was more with artistic things. And the result shows that even if they had any kind of information about tech things, the one that were in the environment with more nerd, we can say, had better results than the other. So imagine the impact that has maybe your office in your team. Maybe some things that for male can be funny, for a person of different culture cannot, or for female cannot be. So think about it when you have a diverse team. Then remember to expand your network. Each of us is in a bubble, and we need always to open this bubble and get out of our comfort zone to get in touch with people that are different from us, and create a culture of bias recall. So responsibilize yourself, question your first impression, justify your decision based on data, and ask for feedback. And give the other the possibility to recognize biases. So create a culture of calling out unconscious bias, make sure that your decisions are justified, by data and make decisions collectively. And then, of course, be curious. Curiosity is really important to get out of our comfort zone and accept also things that are different from what we think. And I am Michela. I'm Community Program Manager in CODEMOTION, and I'm part of several programs like Google Developer Groups, Women Take Makers. I'm a TEDx organizer as well. And let's keep in touch. Here are all my information. If you would like to give me your feedback, will be more than appreciate. And you can receive also all the researches that I've used to build this talk. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Michela. Thank you very much.